Welcome everybody to this conference. I think that when we had the schedule here, I thought that it was okay with this, and you are all together here. Okay, I thank you very much. Of course, there are people that are missing due to visas. Every year it's tougher and tougher to cooperate with this system, especially in this conference that usually there are 40 to 50 countries that participate. So for us it's very important for the people to get visas. Okay, I hope that next years things will be better and not tougher. Okay, and for the opening here, I have Professor Matescu, George Matescu from United States, and Iforlo Masevsky's special case because he is from the parts of Russia, but he's also working in Japan. So, and this is also important for this conference, people that are joining cultures and work in many places of the world. And Valerio Lucarini was also a part of the conference a few years ago. He's also an Italian, working in Germany and here in England. So, and also is the young one. And this is also important because we saw that with the new systems, with the social media came also in science. And for the old people like me, and is something that is far away. So we need young. And this ninth conference is also important because the original idea was to expand the system in the 10th, but I think that the things are faster than us, and we must start from this conference to expand the system, to grow the system. I can say about this in the next few minutes. Well, we started the conference, of course, 9 years ago, and I can go back. Last year it was in Paris, and it was also a successful meeting. Before of that, we have a conference in Portugal, and before it was in Istanbul, in Turkey. And before of that also a location in the President Hotel in Athens, and in a nice place in Creta, in Agios Nikolaos, and in another place in Creta, and these are the conferences from the beginning, 2008. And the places, the first years was, the places were in Creta, in Greece, and after the colleagues asked if we go to expand, to go in other places, and we continue that the last years. And okay, our sponsor is this SMTDA International. This is a system of colleagues joined together from 81 in Brussels. And after I joined this people, I'm secretary of this group from the last 10 years. And they give us money to continue to our works. Well, and we thank, of course, these people. I can say that 20 years ago, we thought that chaos could be a part of these conferences. I mean, as data analysis. And we had some sessions on chaos in the data analysis. And we had a conflict about data analysis, about chaos and stochastic modeling and all this. And finally, it was successful on this, and we decided to continue, if we have the sponsoring, to continue as an independent system. And I think that was going quite well. And we have an honorary committee that I thank them because from the beginning, from the very beginning, some of these people, especially Leon Chua, with this, with his Chua circuit, etc., helped because he had also, he was the editor-in-chief of the famous journal, the National Journal, so he helped from this point of view, and also close to him it was the World Scientific, and helped us with the publications. And of course, Giovanni Galavotti from Italy joined us, Gennady Leonov from Russia, Yves Pomot is from France, but now he's retired from France and is working in United States. And David Riele was one of the first that helped us in this conference, and he was also our honorary speaker last year in Paris, and it was also a special presentation for the 80 years of David. And Ferdinand Veluso from Netherlands is also a good supporter. And from this conference we have, and we thank of course the plenary speaker, Jean-Marc Zinou has done a lot of work in the part of the science, we call it history of science. He's perhaps the best specialist in the world on the Poincaré publications and all of this, and he has also contributed in our last publication. And also he has to present here some of his new book about the Albert Einstein. Of course, he was not so much in the chaos theory, he was more in the work in the stochastic part, but also is important. And Natalia Johnson from the Borough University here in the UK. And Vic Lowe is represented with Graham and Dowling presenting on the plasma experiences. And we have also Valerio Lucarini with a nice presentation here on fluid dynamics. And Professor George Matescu from the United States. Professor Matescu is working in chemistry for many years. And he continues to work. It's a good system that they have in the United States that you can continue to work, not to retire and you go out of the system. He's retired, but he was working. And it's very important for the chaos, as we see the chaos in this type of conference, that to join together ideas and people that have new or old ideas that we can help other people to see their curriculum, their part, with a new, fresh view. And of course, there is also presentation by Marian Viertsugrov. I think it's a difficult name, but I think it's classical Scottish name. And he was also one of the first that helped this conference, and he has a presentation just after this we opened. And we thank, of course, the University of London and Senate House here. I think it's a very nice place, and also the people help a lot about this. And of course, we thank the International Scientific Committee, the plenary speakers. There are special session organizers that we have some very nice special sessions. Of course, the speakers, all the speakers, and all the conference contributors. And of course, the organizing committee and the secretariat. And the tools as usual, the presentation and the posters, the book of abstracts, the proceedings, including the papers presented, the books, when we have, almost always we have proposals from publishers, electronic dissemination from the conference website, and of course we have the CMC journal that also we publish a main part of the conference. About this, yes, about the CMC journals, we have already several issues. And yes, and here from the beginning, as I told you before, they helped very much the World Scientific. The World Scientific publishers, they published the three first of our, the proceedings of our presentation here in these three books. And this is also interesting that they don't sell only books. They have also all this material in electronic. And you can buy the book, but also you can buy the chapter. And this is important because imagine that in one of these books we have, there are some thousands of books, but there are some tens of thousands, about 25 or something like that, chapters that they sell. So it's important, the new era for the publishers, that with the electronic systems, they have very broad dissemination. But also for us, for all of us, it's very important because we continue to spread around our work. And after this, now we came today, and I thank all of you, not all that we are here, but also the people that are not here. It's about 76 colleagues that were working on this project. It was a project of 3 years, but we asked for another year. But now it's published. And this is the handbook of, this is the handbook of applications of chaos theory. It's perhaps the best achievements that we could have working with this, with the chaos group. This is from Taylor and Francis. It's already in the market, and there are, the task was to have 1,000 pages. It's 952 pages, not bad. And okay, and in this we had not exactly a conflict, but a lot of discussion about if there exists a chaos theory or not. And I think that it's not over. We continue to discuss about that. But if we see that with the book, that we had to say and to think about this. You see that if you see this form here that is famous in the internet, you see that chaos theory is almost everything. You can apply chaos theory in almost every discipline, even in the works, in the everyday life or the science. And with some of the questions is why is this so important? Why is it spread in so many disciplines? And the collecting tool. And finally, we found that the main collecting tool now is graphs, figures, and the visual material, not mathematics. Like And via the internet and related application, the people, even if they know mathematics or they don't know mathematics, they don't use mathematics, they're very familiar with this. And also, to my part, geometry, but not the strict geometry, but geometry with the figures, is very important. It came to our lives again by using these tools. And now we can connect science and the humanities instead of have a conflict like it was before. Now science and humanities, they can join together. You can discuss with a philosopher about chaos, and perhaps you have not a conflict exactly, but you can find some points of mutual interest. And of course, mathematical models with real-life application, which was also that joined together. And we join scientists, practitioners, and the everyday people. This is very strong, a very strong part that chaos came in our life. So we saw this about this. This was my words with the reviewers and the people of the publishers, and we finally we decided to go to a book that can cope with both. Of course, looking to our publication here, it was more scientific and mathematically and geometrically oriented, but also has material for the other people. Well, and from the last year, we had an offer from Springer. Springer was a sponsor last year in Paris, and following his contract with them, we had ready. It's also ready the book, and also they have also color graphs. They improved their publications, and now they can publish also in color everything. So this is also in the market. You have also the material in your. And I thank also the contributor for this. And the directions. Well, few directions. We have the sessions. You know, be careful the chairs of the sessions that to check the time, because in some, in many sessions, we have at the end people that it was not clear if they have the visas to come. So the chairs, they have to split in favor, of course, of the people that are here and to give more time to the speakers. So that is important for the chess. And okay, the poster presentation they have to ratify the secretariat. And the final form that, as every year, we wait for the final form of the papers in 1 month after the conference. And we proceed to the publication. Okay, the future organization meeting. We have, you see in the program that we have the meeting for the future organization is for the people that they have already sent the form, the membership form. But you can also ask here the secretary for a membership form, and you can fill it and come to the meeting. And my excursions, the excursion is the half-day excursion tomorrow is from here, 2 o'clock, to the classical Oxford. We are going to Oxford, and we have a visit to the classical Oxford, you know, with the schools, the buildings, etc. We have a guided tour, and we'll be back at 7:30 in the afternoon. So this is this excursion, and the full day excursion will leave here in the morning, 9 o'clock, and we'll be back at 7:30, and we're going to the Stratford-upon-Avon in the Shakespeare birthplace, because this year is the 400 years after his death, and also the war cast. It's a classical institution, but it's, I think that usually, and we were like with the weather the last 2 days, of course. And the dinner, it's close here, we give you directions. Well, and from this year on, we change everything in the organization. From this year, after this year, we will have groups and also sections. Groups means that people to be more than six or more, and section more than 10. Already, we already have, you can see how many. Of course, chaos and nonlinear dynamics is the largest group. And we continue with the groups with chaotic oscillation and all, etc. All these are already organized, and of course we have not in the groups the chairs, the vice chair, etc. I give you, and also there are also the smaller group that in this case we need to add to have 6. And the structure of the groups will be to have a chair, vice chair, secretary, section editor, social media organizer, means a young one, or if someone as not young can have this ability, a coordinator and members. And of course the chairs and all this. And for the beginning and for the meeting, you can come to the meeting. The best, of course, is to fill a form in the secretariat. And of course, these are the responsibilities that you can choose. And of course, we have elections after that, but here for the beginning, we start without elections. And perhaps some groups are already done, some groups are already and we continue. Okay, and for the next chaos, starting also from this year, you will vote for this. Of course, yes. Of course, from our part, we continue. We propose these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cases that we can handle. Of course, we can go everywhere, but the places that we can handle, that there are colleagues that we already have this opportunity, is this: Rome, Italy, Limerick, Ireland, Crete, Greece, Vienna, Austria, and Barcelona, Spain. And during the meeting, the members' meeting, you vote for this. And you tell me. And after we can organize. Okay?
Very difficult to choose.
Yes, it's difficult to choose, but we can handle in all these places. So, you vote and we see. And of course, I thank you and for being here, and have a nice stay in London and good presentation. Yes. I give the talk to Professor Matescu. Yes, I think that, yes. I think that, okay, yes, you can give it.
I'll be very brief. I waited all my life to see this session here. It's so new for me, and everything I have to say in my plenary, I hope it's going to be new for you too. So, in my opinion, the future of science is chaos.
Thank you very much. And Ihor?
Dear colleagues, I would like to congratulate you and me with this new conference, 9th conference. Actually, I joined this conference 5 years ago, and at that time I thought that chaos is very special, particular science. Now, actually, Professor Skerdas, during these years, could convince me that it is much wider. Actually, I think, okay, I work in modern human behavior, and now I recognize that chaos and stochasticity merge each other and form something join something common. Moreover, physics and philosophy also contribute together in this science. Actually, I think it's very great success of Professor Skerdas, and what he did is really excellent. It's really impressive result. What I would like to underline one more is this conference provides us very warm environment, and it is not just science, but it's really pleasure. So our excursions are so impressive, and the cities we visit each time it's really fantastic. And for me it was long years dreams to be in London. Now I'm happy, I'm here. And I think next year the city will also be so impressive. So I wish you good time to meet not only your colleagues, but your friends, and enjoy your life in London. Thank you.
Thank you. And Valerio Lucarino.
Yes, sure. Yes, so good morning everyone, and it's a great pleasure to be here. I'm very happy to participate in this conference. I came, it was I think in 2008, it was the event took place in Chania in Greece, and at the time I was just starting actually to use a lot of some ideas of chaos theory and statistical mechanics in the area of climate and geophysical flows. And this conference was actually very important for me, scientifically and personally, to start to go in that direction. It's been a lot of work, and at that conference I presented some of my first results. I will present here, a few years later what has happened, and I hope it will be interesting. I want to say a couple of additional things. First, it's remarkable the degree of interdisciplinarity in this conference, which is, I think, a very good example for all of us. And second, I think it's also remarkable the fact that it's such an international participation, and I'm happy to see that, I'm extremely unhappy to see that there is a problem for many colleagues to participate because of visa. Unfortunately, this is an extremely bad time in our world for this. We face these problems very much. I think it's extremely sad that the borders are getting more and more strict, and I think it's a good moment for us to reflect on this, that it's not only the people who are far away, a lot of our colleagues, a lot of our friends face this problem, and I have already many friends in this situation. So I want to thank you again.
Thanks, Valerio. So now we have the coffee break, and immediately after, at 11 o'clock, in about 20 minutes, we have the first plenary talk, and with Mario Yetzikov. And of course, don't forget to meet the secretariat and to arrange the groups, and because it's important, and for me, because I think that this is the last year that I am addressing directly, and I prefer from the next year to be the group here, the leaders of the group, and I support. Okay, I continue, of course, always to support the organization, but I prefer to have an international group with about 10 or between 10 and 20 people that share the system. Okay, thank you very much.